Simon Cowell, one of the greatest minds in television, the man who lit up the stage for millions of unknown voices. From an unremarkable mailroom clerk nobody remembered, he rose to become the most powerful figure in the entertainment world. With his almost magical ability to spot talent, he turned nobodies into legends, earning the title of the industry's golden eye. For over 2 decades, he defined what true television power meant, igniting millions of musical dreams and becoming the very symbol of ruthless standards and peak broadcasting. At 65 years old, Simon Cowell, the sharp-tongued creator of shows like American Idol, The X Factor, and America's Got Talent, is dealing with heartbreak that goes far deeper than any harsh comment he's ever made on television. Behind that confident smile and those famous black t-shirts lies a story of incredible pain, loss, and challenges that most people never get to see. Today, we're going to talk about the real Simon Cowell, the struggles he's been facing, and why his recent journey has touched the hearts of millions around the world. When you think of Simon Cowell, you probably think of the guy who built an entertainment empire worth hundreds of millions of dollars. You think of the judge who could make or break dreams with just a few words. But what you might not know is that this same man has been fighting battles that money can't fix and fame can't heal. Let's start with one of the most devastating losses Simon has faced in recent years. The death of Payne in October 2024 absolutely shattered him in ways that few people understood. Liam wasn't just another contestant who appeared on The X Factor back in 2010. He became like family to Simon. When One Direction was formed on that show, Simon watched these 5 young boys grow into global superstars, and Liam held a special place in his heart. The news of Liam's tragic death hit Simon so hard that he had to step away from filming Britain's Got Talent auditions. Can you imagine? This is a man who has worked through almost everything, who has built his entire career on being strong and professional, and yet he was so heartbroken that he couldn't continue working. Sources close to Simon said he was completely devastated, crying for days after hearing the news. What made it even more painful was that Simon felt a deep sense of responsibility. He had discovered Liam, helped shape his career, and watched him struggle with the pressures of fame over the years. In his heart, Simon couldn't help but wonder if there was something more he could have done to help the young man who had brought so much joy to millions of people around the world. The tragedy affected Simon so deeply that he made a heartbreaking promise to Liam's ex-girlfriend Cheryl and their son Bear. He vowed to always be there for them to help support Bear as he grows up without his father. This wasn't just a public relations move or something his team suggested. This was Simon's heart speaking, showing the world that underneath all that success and tough exterior, he's a man who genuinely cares about the people who have been part of his journey. But Liam's death wasn't the only tragedy Simon was dealing with. For years now, he's been struggling with his own physical health in ways that have completely changed his life. Remember those terrible bike accidents he had? The first one happened in 2020 when he was testing an electric bike at his home in Malibu. The accident was so serious that it broke his back and required surgery with metal rods and screws. He had to learn how to walk again. Then, just when he thought he was getting better, another bike accident in 2022 left him with a broken arm. But here's the thing that really breaks your heart. Simon keeps getting back on those bikes. Why? Because riding gives him peace and helps him deal with stress and emotional pain. Even though those accidents nearly killed him and changed his body forever, he refuses to give up something that brings him joy. The injuries have taken a serious toll on his body. Simon has lost a significant amount of weight. And while some people think he looks great, those close to him worry that he's become too thin. The chronic pain from his back injury affects him every single day. Simple things that most of us take for granted, like sitting for long periods during filming, have become incredibly difficult for him. But perhaps the most heartbreaking challenge Simon is facing right now involves his young son, Eric. Eric, who is now 10 years old, has been dealing with some serious health issues that have turned Simon's world upside down. While the family has kept most of the details private out of respect for Eric's privacy, reports suggest that the little boy has been diagnosed with a chronic medical condition that requires ongoing treatment and care. Imagine being Simon Cowell, a man who has spent his entire career solving problems and making things happen with just a phone call or a meeting. Now he's facing something that all his money and influence can't fix. He can't judge this situation away or create a solution with his entertainment industry connections. He's just a worried father, scared for his child's health and future. This health scare with Eric has completely changed Simon's priorities. The man who used to work 18-hour days and travel constantly for business has stepped back from many of his commitments. He's canceled meetings, postponed projects, and turned down opportunities that would have been automatic yes in the past. His focus now is entirely on being present for Eric and supporting his partner, Lauren Silverman, through this difficult time. People who know Simon personally say this situation with Eric has aged him more than anything else in his life. They describe him as being constantly worried, always checking his phone for updates from doctors and struggling to sleep at night. The confident, almost arrogant television personality that millions know has been replaced by a vulnerable, frightened parent who just wants his child to be okay. The stress of Eric's illness has also brought back painful memories of when Simon lost his own parents. His father, Eric Cowell, died in 1999, and his mother, Julie, passed away in 2015. Both losses devastated Simon, but losing his mother was particularly hard because she was his biggest supporter and closest friend. She was the one person who could always make him feel better when the world seemed against him. Simon has spoken about how his parents' deaths taught him that fame and success mean nothing when you're facing real tragedy. All the #1 hits, all the successful TV shows, all the money in the bank, none of it matters when you're watching someone you love suffer, or when you're saying goodbye to them forever. Now, watching his own son face health challenges has brought all those feelings rushing back. Simon understands better than ever what his parents went through when they worried about him as a child. He realizes how much they must have loved him to support his crazy dreams of working in the music industry when everyone said he would fail. The combination of Eric's health issues, Liam Payne's death, his own physical problems, and the memories of his parents has created what friends describe as the perfect storm of emotional pain for Simon. He's dealing with grief, fear, guilt, and uncertainty all at the same time. This is a man who built his career on being in control, on having all the answers, and now he's facing situations where he feels completely helpless. What makes this even more tragic is that Simon is trying to handle all of this while still maintaining his public image and career responsibilities. He shows up to film America's Got Talent with a smile on his face, makes jokes with the other judges, and gives encouragement to hopeful performers. But behind the scenes, those who work with him say he's often quiet, distracted, and clearly carrying the weight of the world on his shoulders. The entertainment industry can be brutal, and Simon has always been known for his thick skin and ability to handle criticism. But dealing with personal tragedy while living in the public eye adds an extra layer of difficulty that most people can't imagine. Every time he appears on television or at a public event, people are watching his every move, looking for signs of weakness or vulnerability. There have been moments during recent America's Got Talent episodes where viewers noticed Simon seemed more emotional than usual, particularly when acts involved children or stories about family struggles. Those who know what he's going through understand that these performances probably hit too close to home, reminding him of his own fears and worries about Eric. Despite all of these challenges, Simon continues to show incredible strength and determination. He sought out the best medical care for Eric, consulting with specialists around the world and exploring every possible treatment option. He's also been working with grief counselors to help him process the loss of Liam Payne and deal with his own fears about mortality and loss. Simon has also made significant changes to his lifestyle to try to be healthier for his family. He's maintained his weight loss, not for vanity reasons, but because he wants to be around as long as possible for Eric. He's reduced his work schedule and started saying no to projects that would take him away from home for extended periods. These might seem like small changes, but for someone whose entire identity was built around work and success, they represent a complete shift in priorities. What's particularly touching is how Simon has handled his relationship with Eric during this difficult time. Instead of trying to shield his son from everything, He's been honest in age-appropriate ways about life's challenges. He's teaching Eric that it's okay to be scared sometimes and that asking for help is a sign of strength, not weakness. Simon has also been working to make sure that Eric's childhood is still filled with joy and normal experiences despite the health challenges. They take trips together, work on projects in Simon's home studio, and Simon makes sure to be present for all the important moments in Eric's life. In many ways, this tragedy has made Simon a better father because it's forced him to slow down and appreciate the time they have together. The impact of everything Simon is going through extends beyond just his personal life. His experiences have changed how he approaches his role as a judge and mentor on his various television shows. He's become more compassionate with contestants, more understanding of their fears and vulnerabilities, and more willing to offer genuine encouragement rather than just sharp criticism. Young performers who appear on his shows now often comment on how supportive and kind Simon is behind the cameras. He takes time to talk with them about their dreams and fears, and he uses his own experiences to help them understand that setbacks and challenges are part of life's journey. This softer side of Simon has always existed, but his recent tragedies have brought it more to the surface. The music and television industry has also rallied around Simon during this difficult time. Other judges on his shows, executives at the networks, and even former contestants have reached out to offer support and understanding. Many people who have worked with Simon over the years have shared stories about his kindness and generosity behind the scenes, showing that his tough television persona never told the whole story of who he really is. Looking at Simon Cowell today at 65, it's clear that life has tested him in ways that no amount of success could have prepared him for. He's facing challenges that can't be solved with business deals or entertainment industry connections. He's learning lessons about what really matters in life, lessons that come with a price no one wants to pay. But here's what makes Simon's story so inspiring despite all the tragedy. He's not giving up. He's not hiding away from the world or abandoning his responsibilities. Instead, he's finding ways to use his pain to help others, to be a better person, and to appreciate the good things he still has in his life. Every day that Simon shows up to work, every smile he manages to share with a contestant, every moment he spends supporting his family through their challenges, he's showing incredible courage. He's proving that even when life knocks you down repeatedly, you can still choose to keep fighting and keep loving. The tragedy of Simon Cowell isn't just about the losses and challenges he's faced. It's about watching someone discover that all the success in the world can't protect you from life's hardest moments. But it's also about seeing how those same challenges can reveal the very best parts of a person's character. Simon's journey reminds us that everyone, no matter how successful or confident they appear on the outside, is fighting battles that we can't see. It shows us the importance of compassion, of being there for the people we care about, and of never taking the good moments for granted. As Simon continues to navigate these difficult times, millions of people around the world are sending him love and support. His story has touched hearts because it's ultimately a human story about love, loss, fear, and hope. It's about a father's love for his child, grief for lost friends, and the determination to keep going even when everything seems impossible. The next time you see Simon Cowell on your television screen, remember that you're looking at someone who has experienced both the highest highs and the lowest lows that life can offer. You're seeing a person who has learned that real strength isn't about being tough or having all the answers. Real strength is about showing up for the people you love, even when you're scared. It's about continuing to care about others even when your own heart is breaking. Simon Cowell's tragedy is heartbreaking, but his response to that tragedy is inspiring. He's showing us all how to face life's worst moments with grace, love, and determination. And maybe, just maybe, that's the most important lesson of all. If Simon's story has touched your heart the way it has touched ours, please take a moment to hit that like button and let us know in the comments below. Share this video with someone who might need to hear this message of hope and strength today. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more stories about the real lives of the people who entertain us every day. Your support means everything to us. And together we can spread a little more compassion and understanding in this world. Thank you for watching, and remember, we're all fighting battles that others can't see. So let's be kind to each,